Hello, guys. So today I'm going to discuss all the Swift Scans questions of Negotiable Instruments Act. So these are basically all the previous year questions and all the questions from the mock test and all the RTPs put together. And I'm going to only discuss the practical questions here. So starting with negotiable instrument, the first practical question. Rama executes a promissory note in the following form. I promise to pay a sum I promise to pay a sum of 10,000 after 3 months. Decide whether it's a valid promissory note. Here, he has set the time and he has set the amount. However, he has not specified the person to whom it is payable. And as per the RBI law, no one other than the government has the right to issue any promissory note payable to bearer. So definitely, this is not a valid promissory note. Reliable Limited, an Indian company, is a global leader in petrochemical products for payment of the sale price of machinery imported from LX Manufacturing Limited, a US based company. The Indian company drew a bill of exchange on Manish, a resident of Mumbai, who accepted the bill at Mumbai payable to the exporter in Los Angeles. USA decide whether the bill of exchange is an inland or a foreign. Okay, so for an inland instrument, you have to fulfill one condition first, drawn in India. This is one condition. And you have to fulfill one other condition of this too. It should either be drawn on a person resident in India or it is drawn payable in India. Here, was it drawn in India? Yes. Was it drawn on a person resident in India? Yes. So this is fulfilled, this is fulfilled. Out of this, any one has to be fulfilled. So already we can see it's an inland instrument. Though it is payable in Los Angeles, it is drawn in India and drawn on a person resident in India. So yes, it is an inland instrument. Right? A purchased a watch from B. He issued a promissory note to B which was payable on demand, but no specific place for payment was mentioned on it. On maturity, B did not present the promissory note for payment as the promissory note was not duly presented for payment. Whether A would be discharged from liability under the provisions of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. In case of a promissory note, if it is payable on demand and no specific place for payment is mentioned, then we don't have to present the instrument for payment. Here, he did not present the instrument for payment, and the other person says, I'm not liable. So he is still liable even if it is not presented. So A would not be discharged for non-presentment, because when the instrument is payable on demand and there is no place mentioned for the presentment, then there is no need to present the instrument. M owes money to N, therefore he makes a promissory note for the amount in favor of N. For the safety transmission, he cuts the note in half and posts one half to N. He then, okay. When I say, first of all, whenever we talk about delivery is not important only at the time of endorsement. Delivery is also important at the time of making of the instrument. Here, when the instrument was made, it was important that the instrument should be delivered, but no delivery of the same was done. Now, a part of the delivery was done. Now, is part instrument being delivered, is it valid? No. When I say delivery must be of the whole instrument and not of the part. So, this instrument is not validly delivered. He then changes his mind and calls upon N to return the half of the note which he had sent. N requires M to send the other half of the promissory note. Decide now. Now, first of all, it's not a valid delivery. So, because it's not a valid delivery, N actually has no rights of claim over the instrument. So, can M demand back the instrument? Yes. So, decide how rights of the parties are to be adjusted. M can ask for the return of the instrument. Correct? Next one. Sachin bought 1000 kgs of rice from Saurabh for 1,50,000 on 3 months credit. For this purpose, Sachin issued a promissory note to Saurabh on the same date payable after 3 months. On the date of maturity, the promissory note was dishonored. Saurabh filed a suit for the recovery of the amount plus fees of the advocate paid by him for defending the suit. Referring to the provisions, tell us what all he can recover. So, when an instrument is dishonored, the compensation payable is first the amount of the bill, second is the amount of the instrument, second is any expenses that he had incurred on that instrument due to dishonor, third is 18% interest. So he has a right to recover the price plus the fees of the advocate plus interest at the rate of 18%. M drew a check amounting to 2 lakh payable payable to N and subsequently delivered to him. After receipt of the check, N endorsed the same to C but kept it in his safe locker. After some time, N died and P found, okay, is it a valid endorsement? Not a valid endorsement. Why? Because in endorsement, delivery is very important. And if the instrument has not been delivered, the instrument is not a valid, the endorsement is not valid. After some time, N died and P found the check in N's safe locker. Does this amount to endorsement under the Negotiable Instruments Act? Absolutely not. Priyansh, so finding the check in the locker of N does not amount to endorsement. Priyansh purchased some goods from Sumit. He issued a check to Sumit for the sale price on 14 June 2023. Sumit presented the check in his bank and his bank informed him on 19th June that check was returned unpaid due to insufficiency of funds. Just one second. Priyansh purchased some goods from Sumit. He issued a check to Sumit for sale price. I'll read the question again. For Sumit on 14 June, Sumit presented the check in his bank and his bank informed him on 19 June that the check was returned unpaid due to insufficiency of funds in the account of Priyansh. Sumit sued against Priyansh under section 138. State with reasons whether this suit is maintainable or not. So section 138 says section 138 says that if you want to file a case under section 138, you cannot just on dishonor, you cannot directly go and file a suit. Once your banker informs you, you within 30 days, you must give a notice to the drawer that your check has been dishonored. And once the notice is given to him, within 15 days, if he pays, well and good. If he does not pay, only then we can file a case against him. So if the notice was given and he fails to pay within 15 days, then the suit would be maintainable, otherwise not. Bholenath drew a check in favor of Surendra. After having having issued the check, Bholenath requested Surendra not to present the check for payment and gave a stop payment request to the bank in respect of check issued to Surendra. Decide under the provisions whether the said act of Bholenath constitutes an offence. Well, where as far as stop payment of check is concerned, we have two very specific provisions here. When the check is dishonored, section 138 very specifically says check dishonor of check due to insufficiency of funds. But here it is stop payment. So am I liable for that? So what in one of the case laws they held was, what was the reason for stop payment? If the reason of stop payment was insufficiency of funds, then also you will be liable under section 138 even though it is a stop payment. But if stop payment was due to any other reason, then you are not liable under section 138, right? So they have not given here anything. So you will have to give both an answer. That is, if the stop payment was done due to insufficiency of funds, then he will be liable under section 138. Otherwise, he will not be liable. Oh, have they given? So see, we cannot just write this. We should write both. Both of the answers should be given. Okay. Mr. Y issued a check for 10,000 to Mr. Z, which was dishonored by the bank because Y did not have enough fund on his account and has no authority to overdraw. Examine as per the provisions. Mr. Y is liable for dishonor of check. If yes, what are the consequences of such offense? Yes, because he did not have enough funds in his account, and that is the reason the check was dishonored. So, yes, he will be liable under section 138, which amounts to twice the amount of the check or imprisonment up to 2 years or both. What would be your answer if Y issued the check as a donation? Now, for 138 to apply, there are a few conditions. First, the check must be issued for some lawful debt. The check must be presented within time. Once the bank gives a notice to the holder of dishonor, within 30 days, he must give a notice to the drawer. And within 15 days, the drawer has not paid. Then only you can file a case against him. Here, the check was issued for donation and it was not for a lawful debt. So, in this case, he would not be liable. Mr. A made endorsement of a bill of exchange amounting 50,000 to Mr. B. But before the same could be delivered to Mr. B, Mr. A passed away. Okay. Endorsement. I think something like this we had just done above. Endorsement was done, but before the same could be delivered to Mr. B, Mr. A passed away. This is your September 24 exam paper. Mr. B had endorsed it, but it was sorry. It was endorsed to Mr. B, but it was never delivered. And without delivery, the endorsement is not valid. Mr. A, son of Mr. S, son of Mr. A, who was the only legal representative, approached Mr. B and informed him about his father's death. Now, S is willing to complete the instrument. Only the endorser can endorse the instrument and complete it with delivery. If any other person delivers the instrument, it can be done only if authorized. Here, since Mr. A has not authorized his son to do the delivery, to complete the delivery of the instrument is not valid, the endorsement is not valid. Referring to Mr. N, S can complete. No, he cannot complete. Aman drew a bill of exchange on Baban, who accepted it payable to Magan or order. Magan endorsed the bill to Gagan. Gagan endorsed the bill to Akash to be delivered to him on the next day. However, on the death of Gagan on the same day, his only son Ankit delivered the bill to Akash. I'm so sorry, this was not September question. This is September question. This could be RTP or mock test or previous year, ICI book. However, on the death of Gagan, on the same day, his only son Ankit delivered. This is the same question. See, I've told you, you get those same questions from the Swift scan. This question was already there in the Swift scan. So, I referring to the provision, beside whether Akash can. So, here, on the death of Gagan on the same day, his son Ankit delivered the bill. Is it a valid delivery? No, because any other person other than the endorser can deliver only when authorized. So, can Akash recover the payment? No, he cannot enforce the payment. Okay, we are done with this. We are done with negotiable instruments ka questions. Happy learning and stay motivated.